Hello, it's Emma Jo here from Lavinia Stamps, and in this video I'm going to be taking you on the next part of the Lavinia Tours. And again we've split this part into two, so this is part 4A. It's probably the best way of doing it, A and B. Part 4A of The Wish Factory. And let me show you just a little bit of what we're doing. So just look at the gates. We are going to the Wish Factory, and can you hear me at the back? We're going to the Wish Factory and we're going to be doing the gates, and we're going to be using some Brilliance inks, the metallic inks, and starting off on the background, but the rest that you can see peeking over the top, that's going to be coming next week. Okay, so we're going to be doing the gates. I'm not going to show you any more because it gives away far too much. And it's all a bit of intrigue for you for next week, or the next, whenever you watch this. So, enough chat from me. Let me show you how it's done. Righty-ho, off we go. So I'm going to be using A4 black card to make some factory gates. And so I'm using my craft mat to help me line it up. And I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares up on one side and 7 on the other, so I get an angle, and then 5 by 7, thank you. And using my white Posca pen, I'm just going to dot along the top. I start as a dash but then realised dots are much better, and that's just a white Posca pen. Now I'm going to stamp the metalwork, and for this I'm going to use the Brilliance inks, and I'm going with Mystic Swirl stamp and an acrylic block and Brilliance Galaxy Gold. So I'm just going to run that stamp across that dotted line, not going too far over, but not worrying too much if some of the swirls go over. Okay, and just a couple down the centre. Now, putting the two together, run your scissors across the top of that, cutting out any of the white dots, and you'll get exactly the same shape for the other side. So following the sort of pattern that you did, using the same inks, Galaxy Gold, and now we're going on to a Believe stamp, again Galaxy Gold, on both gates. And we've got a mini bee stamp, and he's in, what is he in? Platinum Planet ink. Again, that's one of the Brilliance teardrop shapes. And this is the tick stamp that I am just going around the outside with a white Posca pen. Again, he was stamped up in Galaxy Gold. So I'm just going to highlight bits of the Believe. And splatter a bit of white Posca using my stencil brush to knock the Posca pen. And keep adding your white dots, because that just adds that little bit of magic to it. And also, if you've got some of the dots from that line across the top, they look like they're meant to be there. Oh, Posca Bars. No, that isn't a pub. So we're going to use our craft mat and our ruler, and I'm going to basically at every centimetre do a line up with pencil. And once I have done that, I'm using my Woodland Fern stamp and Platinum Planet ink. I've got the larger one here first, I think. Have I? Anyway, one of them, and then I alternate to the next one. There we go. It's the smaller one first and then the larger one second. And you can get a couple of stamps out of that without the need to re-ink. And the effect's rather lovely. So, wiggly line down, like you're doing lots of U's, down that pencil mark that we made to create our bars. And then we're going to go back and draw a single line on the right hand side of that bar. Now I'm going underneath the Believe There we go, going underneath the believe, just to highlight that word so it doesn't get too lost. And what else do I want to do? A few more white dots around the swirls. Now we're going to Dreamscape Backing. What is this? Aha! Grab yourself some Dreamscape papers and find a couple of pages that are about the same sort of colour. Line it up with your stamp, with your gates, and you may notice that your gates are going to be a little bit bigger than the Dreamscape paper, but don't fret. Don't fret. We've got that all sorted. With a bit of bibbly-bobbly glue, run that around the outside and maybe put a couple of dots in the middle using nature's spatula, the finger. And once you're happy that there's enough glue on there to take what you're going to do, line it up and stick it down. And then trim it to size. So you see here is a lovely strip of Dreamscape paper that would really fit beautifully at the end of the gate. So let's cut that off. There you see, fits perfectly. And then trim along the top. Now, if you end up leaving a little bit of the Dreamscape paper showing, it really doesn't matter. In fact, it looks quite smart. Like an edging or a piping. So I've sped this up super quick because this is just me doing exactly the same thing to the other side of the gate. And trim it. See, it's just like a little edge, isn't it? It's lovely. Adding colour to the gates. Now, how are we going to do this, I hear you ask? Well, let me show you. I have the remains of my Dreamscape papers and a hole punch from the handheld, it's not easy to say that, handheld hole punch set. And I've got some blues, pinks and yellows, which I think are lovely and will look great on that black gate. So using a little bit of bibbidi-bobbidi glue, I'm sticking greens, blues, yellows, pinks that I've punched out of the Dreamscape papers to create like magical orbs. Right, the writing. So when you open the gates, that's the way it needs to go. So make sure that you're doing your story so that it reads properly from left to right. Okay, all I've got here is a black Posca pen. I'm just writing in very clear writing and then adding some dots, splats to the writing. So the story reads as follows. When the gates opened, I wonder what happens next. The sentiment stickers set 5 happens next. When the gates opened, my word! It should have been running. Like a clockwork dream. Exclamation mark. It was chaos. Goodness me, another exclamation mark. Now, by saying it's chaos, that has given us artistic license to not actually worry about what the inside of the factory looks like. Because it is going to look like chaos, and that is indeed the plan. It was not a mistake. Okay, so what does it say so far? The mice loved it and, I obviously forgot the word it there. The mice loved it and thought it was jolly good, magical fun. Another exclamation mark. Must like those today. Together. The friends went full steam ahead and in a matter of time. See, I chopped a little bit off one of those stickers because I didn't need that word. Not this time, anyway. A matter of time, they caught all the wishes. Soon, it was running like clockwork. Magic. Now, obviously, I thought it needed here. It was chaos. Wishes floated everywhere. That gives you a clue as to what's going to be happening inside of the factory. Pick up your Posca pen with a stencil brush and get some splatters on there as well. That's my cog from cog set 3, looks like a flower, and some Versifying Claire Nocturne. Makes a cracking little frame. Right. What are we going to do now? So that's what it should look like. The background inside the factory. Now, you know it's going to be chaos because the story has told us that. This is a size 9 stencil brush and Elements Ink Sundance, and we're just going to build the colour up. Now, don't be disheartened if you think, gosh, this colour is taking a while to build. Once you have, in the journals, the colour is so vibrant, it's lovely. And we're going for a lovely rainbow, sort of hazy type feel. So that yellow is going down the centre of the 2 pages, not all the way down, but sort of halfway, and right across the top. You can add a couple of patches here and there. Sorry, I have made it go super speedy, just so that you get the idea of where it goes. Otherwise, you know, we'd be here for a while. Put that away. Next colour, please. So we've gone with Elements Ink Blue Atoll. All my blending is done with size 9 stencil brushes in this. I'm starting at the edges because I think, you know, you can get away with a darker blotch at the edge or in a corner. And you can always build up colour, but you can't really take it away. Well, you can, I suppose, but depends on what effect you want to get. So you see, building that colour up, look at that yellow and that blue together, and the way it crosses together, and you get this lovely green. That's a bit of Elements Ink Violet chalk. And we're adding in some mermaid. Now this is that lovely dark blue. And we're just building that, if you like, as our bottom colour. So it's creeping up, but look at it. It's not black, is it? It's so lovely and lush, and it's, I'm going to say it, dark teal, which of course I might have a soft spot for. But anyway, that's the colour we're going to base it on, all the action. And then as we, a little bit of russet orange going around the violet chalk and the confetti colours, because that's the confetti going in there. Now at the bottom of the page, we're going to go back in with our dark denim, again Elements Ink, and we're just going to build up that mermaid to a darker frame. So you've definitely got a base. And once you've done that, my friends, you have completed stage 1. Well done. It may look like absolute chaos, but believe me, when it's finished, it will look like it was meant to be. Well done, folks. Brilliant stuff. Well, I really hope you've enjoyed doing the factory gates with me. In the next one, we will be having great fun seeing what the mice are getting up to. The mice are getting up to inside the factory. I wonder, do you think they'll be well behaved? Anyway, I hope you've had fun. Please feel free to leave me a comment on the post below, and I will do my best to get back in touch with you. Questions are great, so feel free to ask them. In the meantime, you take care. See you again. Bye.